Call Elohim Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakadash, Barakatham. This is your fellow servant Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well, and from whom we learn His truth. Shalom to Yakim, who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations. To the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom. This lesson is inspired by a video brother dropped in the chat. I'm gonna get the clip here in a minute, and I'm gonna probably end up doing like a two-part. Two-part to this. Anyway, the last upload I did was pretty much about having the eye solve, right? Being sober. All right, being sober and staying vigilant. With the rise, and I don't want to say perfection, but with the rise in the building up the building up of this AI technology, we have to really use the spirit for discernment. Okay? And even beyond the surface level. Right? We can look at when we move in the spirit, we can read the spirits on people that approach the camp, and even in our day-to-day walk, even in our day-to-day lives, we we can discern the spirits and energy of people that we come in close contact with, whether it be at the job, what I'm saying, which I call the plantation, at your whatever that may be. Even if you're self-employed, you plugged into the system, right? So you got customers, or if you do provide a service or whatever, those individuals that you come into contact with, you can gauge their spirit, discern their spirit, as well as friends, family, right? Children and spouses. So, because the scriptures say that it'll be those of their own household that turn against them, roughly paraphrased, right? And that could mean your immediate household, like the people that's living under the same roof as you, or it could just mean people, in your family line. All right, which we know both of those things are plausible. Right, so the point I'm making is about staying on point with that discernment and looking just beyond, as we see things, on the boob tube, on TV, on social media, on the internet, the videos that brothers put out, because as watchmen, uh, regardless of your lot, whether you are a prophet, a teacher, if you're a help, right? You're there for succor if you're a help, or if you're just a believer, right? And this goes out to to those believing sisters that don't haven't attached themselves to a man of the Lord yet, right? The Lord, if you sincere sister, the Lord got you covered. All right, your shield, your covering is on his way. All right, because the times that's coming forth, you're going to need a man. I just want to say that. Now, as I was going into the AI thing, right? And they're I hate to say perfecting it, man, but they are, because we haven't seen what its final capability will be, but they are honing that thing, right? It's becoming a well-oiled machine, and it's growing quickly, right? That meaning the things that you see on the internet, you're gonna have to quote unquote fact check or do a little digging to make sure that it's legitimate, right? And brothers that are teachers, you should be doing this thing anyway, right? Now, the other part of that is looking past individual events, right? Discerning an event, because as prophets, right, and apostles, all right, and men that are laboring, whatever your office is, your station, or whatever measure of spirit that the Lord has given you, if you are laboring and the Lord has put it on you to teach, right, break down the prophecies, whatever it is, we have to become more circumspect in the days that are coming. Okay, we have to become more circumspect, meaning we have to be able to look at an event or a series of events and be able to see what's out there on the horizon, what's coming. That way we can, continue to warn the people. And of course, the scriptures are our is our measuring stick, our tool of what we do, what we use as our ocular, our scope, right, to observe these things. Anyway, I don't want to get on the ramble on a tangent because I've been talking for almost 10 minutes, but I'm gonna play this video. I want to preface, I want to preface it with that statement and this one as well. We got to be, with that being said, as far as seeing things out a little bit further out on the horizon, right? So like, a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, this joint that had hit the internet with Elon talking about, oh well, the Hebrews were people of color, they were black, right? And then before that, you had Vladimir Putin, right? Open the vault and release those old photos that they had locked away of the quote unquote Black Madonna, all right, and the black, what they call Christ. Well, we know that to be the true depiction, or not true depiction, but a closer likeness of what the Israelites looked like, all right, as pertaining to Yahweh Shai, all right, and his parents, as well as the prophets. Okay, now these are Edomites bringing this out. Okay, and I'm gonna play a clip. This clip also is of an Edomite bringing out information about the small hats over there, right? Now the point is, this is not new information. All right, this is not new information. Our elders and apostles have been bringing this out for 40 plus years. And the men that have entered into their labors, all right, 30, 20, 10 years, 15, 5, it's brothers, elders in the camp, man, that have been bringing this out for, aside from the apostles, men in various places, in different large metropolitan locales, you hear me? Large urban, big cities, man. All right, pushing this thing, man. From the elder Malcolm, all right, the elder Yashawamba, all right, the elder Danya Allah, all right, and then of course you got our heads over here at GMS Orlando, man. Approaching 8, 9, 10 years, man. All right, about 5, 7 years, but hey, that's over the 5-year mark. But being in this thing for over a decade, so they've been pushing it, for again approaching a decade, man. All right, then you got your elder apostle Tahar, your elder apostle Gabar, your elder apostle Ramlab, your elder apostle Rakah. Right, all these men that we know, diligent. Okay, and then you even got the other camps that have been bringing out this information, in some form or fashion, albeit there may be difference in doctrine, like on the name concerning those purple people eaters and guys like GOCC and all them other cats, right? And then things, other pertinent things like the chip, right? The charagma. But the facts are, it been men for 30, 40 years, 4 decades bringing this information out. And with that, because I know I'm at over 10 minutes now, I'm gonna let this clip play. All right.
Most Christian Zionists in America have no idea that the people living in Israel are not native, the area of Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it. They were not born there. They immigrated from Europe.
Ashkenazi Jews.
They were Ashkenazi Jews who came in from Europe and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle, shooting the area of Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it. They were not born there. They immigrated from Europe.
Ashkenazi Jews.
They were Ashkenazi Jews who came in from Europe and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle, shooting Arabs, and they killed Muslims and Christians. They slaughtered them, massacres, women, children, horrible massacres. That is the history of Israel, 1948, and I killed Muslims and Christians. Land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle, shooting Arabs, and they killed Muslims and Christians. They slaughtered them, massacres, women, children, horrible massacres. That is the history of Israel, 1948, and I dare any Christian Zionist to prove me wrong, because I can show you the historical records of the massacres that took place in 48. It was horrible, absolutely horrible, the people who were killed. And because of that, the Arabs developed a fury, an anger that European Ashkenazis just flooded in to Palestine and violently pushed them off their land. So any of us can understand that. But that was 70 years ago. Matter of fact, today is modern Israel's Independence Day.
That's right, it is, isn't it?
Isn't it interesting?
He ain't lying.
Palestine.
Palestine? You Palestine, bro.
Do you want to kill me?
Yes, Palestine.
What about Palestinian babies? You want to kill Palestinian babies?
Yes, yes. Palestinian baby. Seven.
Were you killed 7 babies?
Yes.
You killed 7 babies? You were in the IDF and you killed 7 babies.
Yes, Palestine.
What's wrong with you?
You Palestine.
Why?
Palestine.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, that clip. When you if you watch it out, you can see it right here, the title, Rick Wiles. You can go check that out. Is the name of the video, but the page is Endure These Last Days. All right, so you can catch that video over there. But the rest of that video is these guys going into just like he said, like he showed those small hats, right? Their opinion and their view on the so-called Palestinian peoples. All right, and the hate is very overt. Okay. Now, you saw the clip. I backed up, played that one section a couple times. All right. He said at the ends and tips of rifles, man, is how they got that land. Massacres, right? He said God did not give it to them. Yahweh did not give it to them. Right? They took it by force. And he listed the year 48. Right? So you can go do your digging on that, look into that history. But that's the vibration that's out, that's moving over there, man. And soon it's going to find its way over here. All right, but the point I was wanting to bring out is that's not new information. All right, this guy, this who appears to be an Edomite, bringing out this information is not new. Like I said, our elders and apostles have been bringing that out for decades, man. Decades. All right. This is Psalms, the 59th verse, the 59th chapter. All right. And let's start at 2. Psalms 59:2, it says, "Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men." All right. Save me from bloody men. Now listen. These guys, all right, the small hats in particular, all right, they are they're known as the Temanites. All right, that's the top family. All right, the top family inside of the nation of Edom. All right. So that's their tribe, Teman. All right, the so-called small hats, man. All right, and they shed a lot of blood. All right, they had their hands in those massacres over there that you heard this guy speaking on. They had their hand in, they funded many of the ships and the boats that our ancestors were brought over here on, man. For chattel slavery, right? On cargo slave ships. Okay, a lot of them funded the boats. Those insurance policies to cover the cargo was written by the small hats. So not just the funding of the boats, but the families that insured them. Okay? Which is why they threw people overboard, indiscriminately, man. When they was low on rations, or if there was, any type of illness to break out, anything like that. Okay? Because they knew they were going to be compensated for it. All right, I'm going to read that again. Psalms 59:2. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. In the NLT, it reads, rescue me from these criminals. Save me from these murderers. Right? 3, they have set an ambush for me. Fierce enemies are out there waiting. All right? Fierce enemies are out there waiting, Lord. Though I have not sinned or offended them. Right? Like, what the fuck did we do to you motherfuckers? Nothing. Right? Verse 3, in the KJV, it says, for lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord Yahweh. All right? It's another one I wanted to get. Let's see. I didn't want to read all the way down. Verse 5, thou therefore, O Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, God of hosts, the power of Israel, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Selah. All right. They return at evening. They make a noise like a dog and go round about the city. All right. And we see that with these centurions that's out here, man. Them blue light flickers, man. Them piggly wigglies. And pigs wrapped in blue blankets. Right? And all 12 ain't bad. But you definitely have to move in caution, man. Especially if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. Right? We talked about being circumspect. Verse 7, behold, they belch out with their mouth. Swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear? But thou, O Lord, shalt laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision. This is where I wanted to start at 8. I'm going to go to about 12, all right? But thou, O Lord, shalt laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision. Because of his strength will I wait upon thee, right? Right, because the Lord gave them their strength, man. These devils got full-fledged armies, militaries, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you ain't got no army, no military might. Even if you have, listen, go to Jamaica. Where they mighty military at? Where they Air Force at? Where they Navy at? Huh? Is Mexico known for they military? What about you Dominicans? So-called Dominicans. Right? Puerto Ricans, they, so-called, they part of the United States military. And even if you go over to like the South America, man, Honduras in the hook, right? Guatemala, that's in Central America. But if you go down to South America, like Chile, Venezuela, right? They're not known for their military might. Who's known for the military might? The so-called Edomite, the so-called white man. He is the Edomite. He's the biblical Edomite, Salakia. The biblical Edomite, the so-called white man. Right? Verse 9 says, because of his strength will I wait upon thee. For God is my defense. For Yahweh is my defense. The power of my mercy shall prevent me. Yahweh shall let me see my desire upon my enemies. Slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power, and bring them down, O Lord, our shield. Right? This is the point. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride. For cursing and lying which they speak. Right? And what's the cursing and lying that well, first off, the pride is very strong. And you saw that with that one little clip that I let play of that guy talking about unalive them Palestinian babies, man. Talking about F Palestine, F that guy because he was Palestinian, F them babies, all of that. He was proud of the 7 bodies he caught when he was in the IDF. Proud. Listen, and when you go play that clip, it's some females in there that share the same sentiment, man. So that is a again, a overt hate that is nationwide over there. It's not just a couple bad apples, as they say. And it's not exclusive to the males. Right? Which shouldn't be hard to believe, because during chattel slavery, a lot of the Edomite, the Shedemite, the Edomite women, right, the slave masters' wives, some of them bras were the worst, man. Some of them bitches was the worst. Think about that little fucking hoe that had Emmett Till face all mashed up till he was unrecognizable, man. Then the bitch gonna confess on her deathbed that she lied about the whole thing. You devils gotta pay for that shit, man. But that's pride. And for cursing and lying which they speak. The lies about, when you if I would have kept playing that video, this young Edomite go in there talking, this young Temanite go in there talking about, oh well, before Israel was Israel, it was Palestine, and the Palestinians had the Israelis over there in slavery. Hold on, I thought you motherfuckers migrated over there from Europe. Right? And then if they did have the slavery, when and what time period? Let's get some dates. Because us so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, we got dates. We got time periods when we was in slavery. Right? 1492, Columbus sailed ocean blue. They taught this shit to the kids in school, man. So the late 1400s, early 1500s, man, is when you devils started wreaking havoc on the natives. All right? The indigenous peoples of the Americas over here, who are Israelites, man. Those so-called Native Americans and Hispanics. You Taino Indians are part of that too, because they landed on the island of Hispaniola first before they hit the mainland. So the Tainos would have got the brunt of it first, man. You so-called Puerto Ricans and so-called Dominicans and so-called Cubans, all right? Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, man. All right? Slaughtered. 1500s. Then they packed us on cargo slave ships like fucking sardines. From the late 1500s, the mid to late 1500s, all the way till the early 1700s, man. And not just here. The shit happened in Europe too, man, because they was transporting our Latin, so-called Latin, all right, and so-called Native American brothers. They was transporting them on cargo slave ships over to Europe in the 1500s, in the 1600s. Right? So let me get another one from over here in Psalms. This might be a Psalms heavy day. Psalm 64 and 2, it says, in 2 it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Even bitter words. Like niggas evolved from monkeys. We're inferior. We're less intelligent. All right, we was because of the size of our brain cavity, we were genetically designed to be servants and slaves. We're not the people of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and brothers and co-heirs to the kingdom of heaven, his son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But these devils are the express image of God. Right? Yahweh Shai got blind hair and blue eyes. All those depictions, those Renaissance drawings and shit. Those are bitter words, man. Even to this day. It's like I said, our elders and apostles been bringing out this truth, been bringing those facts out that this guy was speaking on, and then some, giving you the truth of who the true inhabitants of that land are, who the land belongs to, who the true people of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Children of the living power, man. The creator of the universe. They've been bringing this out for 4 decades or better. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Yeah, because the hate runs deep, man. They the scriptures say they accomplished a diligent search, right? Meaning that they built entire systems to indoctrinate our people. An education system, followed by the school to prison pipeline. All right. Unequitable justice system, so-called, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Yeah, they didn't care about what they did to us because they felt like they could do whatever they wanted to us and get away with it. From buck breaking to cutting off the rods and of men, right? Gelding men, right? Gelding is like neutering, right? That goes into making a man a eunuch. Castration, so you can understand. Buck breaking, right? That Moism, that folly, where they take the biggest, strongest man, bend him over a log or a wheelbarrow, and pop him in the rear, buzz up his backside in front of everybody. Make our women comfort girls. All right, the scriptures talk about how they traded a boy for wine, man, and made a boy a harlot. And they did the same to our women, man. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish. Oh, call Elohim Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. That's what I was talking about. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of them, every one of them, and the heart is deep. All right? Meaning these motherfuckers are wicked to the core, man. That's what that means. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And we just saw that in the clip I played, man. All that see them shall flee away. All right? And that's the thing. Their own tongue is going to fall upon them. Again, because this guy, you know, we perceive him to be an Edomite. And we know Elon is one. And we know Putin is one. And they, you know, they bringing out facts. But guess what? At this point, it's too little too late. Because they've already lost the info war. So now they're trying to bring these things out like, oh, yeah, you know, you motherfuckers are not righteous. And you would have never told the truth had this message not gone viral. All right. Because it has been. This message has been, and this is why Vocab is so fucking pissed, man. Vocab, Haman Malone. How he talks about the growth of what he calls Hebrew Israelism. The rapid growth. They trying to figure out a way to combat it. You can't stop this, man. It's of the Lord. It's of the Lord. You know? And so the point I was bringing out in the very beginning, in the opening, was you have to look at shit like this and see it for what it is. The only reason they're saying these things now is because it's damn near common knowledge now. All right? It's damn near common knowledge because you've had people like your entertainers that have vast platforms say things, right? Like Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Nick Cannon. All right. And then you got other people, you know, Jaguar Wright, who's not as famous, but she's known. And then you have other people who admit that they know who we are, that we God's people. Your Cat Williams. Even Whitney Houston alluded to it before she passed, man. And when you go into the histories and all of this, as off as they were, you know, Malcolm was coming to that understanding. Now, he was off and folly because, you know, I'm talking about Malcolm Little, also known as Malcolm X. But he was off because he was entwined in idolatry. And Islam is idolatry. Being a Muslim is idolatrous, man. That's not how we are commanded. That's not how the children of the Heavenly Father are commanded to worship him. All right. Now, there are some decent tenets there, like abstaining from swine and shellfish and shit like that. But it's a lot of idolatry in that faith, in that ideology. You know, you have to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. I brought that out a couple videos ago, man. The Lord is a spirit, right? And those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Roughly paraphrase. But they can't stop this thing now. So the only thing they can do is, and they can't even get out in front of it. Why? Because it's too damn late. So now they're going to have high influence people start to say shit. Right? And not just any high influence people that are actually Israelites. They're going to have so-called Edomites. It's not so-called. They're going to have so-called white people who are Edomites confess these things. Right? But that's just like them with their whole left hand side shit, man. Confessing things before they do wicked shit to try to stay the karma. You know, so-called the reaping and sowing. But no, the scriptures say what? Be not deceived. God is not mocked. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, the same shall he reap. And you devils have sowed a lot of wickedness, man. And the time of reaping is soon to come. So be careful, be wary. These devils are not your friends. They're not giving you information out of the goodness of their heart. They're trying to get on board saying these things so at some point they can try to steer and turn the narrative, see if they can redirect it. Because one of the things that I heard in the Elon joint, this guy was talking about some they did some DNA tests and found out that the Israelites was black Africans and all of this yada yada, right? We're not fucking African. We Israelites, bitch. All right? Because that's another word that's shrouded in confusion, is African. Okay? We're not African. The Hamites are so-called Africans. We are from the line of Shem or Sham. All right? We're Hebrews. And yes, we're dark. And we come in all different shades of brown. All right? We're melanated. But we're not African. All right? So because you have people that try to fuse, you're going to have some motherfuckers try to fuse, Israelite tradition or customs with these Kemet people. And we've been at odds with them motherfuckers since day one. So that don't go either. All right. So they try to steer the narrative, but it's too late because we're going to correct you at every turn, man. We're going to correct you at every turn. You got to watch this sly devil, man. It's Revelation 12. And I'm going to start at 10. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, the kingdom of our God, and the power of his anointed, his Hamashiach," right? "For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, Who's the accuser of our brethren, man? The Edomites, the so-called white man. And not just him, but the other nations as well. Because you Moabites, all right, you so-called Chinese, you Ammonites, you so-called Japanese, all right, you so-called Africans, you Hamites, all right. All you motherfuckers was in league, man. And you too, Ishmael, all right, Ishmael, you so-called Arabs. Listen, don't get it twisted. We're not for the state of Palestine either. Now, is it wrong what's going on over there? Hell yeah, it's wrong. But that's our land. And we advocate for our people. But we understand, hey, these things have to take place, man. So y'all do what y'all do. We don't have a dog in that fight, man. We are subjects to a nation that has had us captive for the last 400 plus years, man. That don't got shit to do with us. So y'all go ahead and fight it out. All right. We gonna say, if we see wrong, we gonna call it like it is. Right? How they say, call a spade a spade. That's really a racist statement. When you go back into the origin of that proverb. But anyway, we gonna call it like it is. Right is right and wrong is wrong, man. And you small hats are dead wrong. Right? For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuseth them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And this is our testimony, man. This word is what we pushing. This is how we're going to overcome you pink bastards, you devils, you red devils. All right. And they love not their lives unto the death. Right? They love not their lives unto the death. Because we already know, man, it's going to be martyrs. Y'all going to come down and be seeking. And, hey, y'all going to come at our necks, man. But we also understand that that's something that has to take place. That has to happen. It's prophecy. All right. And that too, along with the ushering in and enforcement of the charagma, is going to usher in our salvation through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, man. Verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And listen, this is me speaking as a man, but I perceive all of these pink toes coming out, trying to push information that we've already said for the last 4 decades. All right. They're just doing that because they know that they have a short time. And like I said, they're going to try to control the narrative. And when that fails, they're going to come down with draconian law. And then it's going to be about our word in testimony. Well, our testimony, which is the word. Right? It's going to be about the prophecies that we speak of. It's going to be about the true names of Yahweh and his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's going to be about these devils making a man an offender for a word, man, as the scriptures say. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Isaiah 29 and 21. $19, right? 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. This would have been a cold verse to go with the lesson yesterday. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, Yahweh, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one, Esau, Edom, is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that they make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside from the just, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Right? And that's coming, man. They're going to make a man an offender for a word. What word? This word. And all of this is being set up so they can try to regain some control of the narrative to steer it away from what we're talking about. Because when you openly admit, okay, well, the Israelites were you so-called Negroes, right? And then, of course, we're going to correct that. Yes, Negroes, but also Latinos and Native Americans as well. So-called Latinos and Native Americans are also part of that family line, right? That way, because they're going to try to make this, it's not a black thing. You understand? This is an Israelite thing. This is a heritage and nationality thing based on your blood. But there are speckled birds, like I said that before. They're speckled birds. So there's going to be people that look like so-called Edomites. That look like so-called Edomites. That look like so-called Chinese people. That look like so-called East Indian people. It's even going to be some small hats, man. Hey, our elders told us that. It's going to be some people that look like Israelis. They going to look like Temanites. They going to have a little yarmulkes on and a little curly cues, but they going to be of the fold, man. Because of their lineage. And the word is going to resonate with their spirit. They're going to have an entirely different spirit from the average so-called small hat. They're not going to be Zionists at all. See, the thing people got to, and this is why we tell you, you have to discern the spirit, man, because this flesh is just a vessel that houses the spirit. All right. But yeah, he's gonna come down with great wrath, man. Because when we start, again, when he finds out that he cannot redirect this narrative, and that especially the men of GMS and those of light doctrine are going to be on this motherfucker's head correcting the narrative wherever he go off. Because we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, bruh. You're going to have to bring the guillotines. You're going to have to bring the sword, man. Yahweh Ratazar, he keep his spirit on us, man. Bahasham Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, we be a part of that number, man. The 144,000. But it's going to be an innumerable multitude, man. That remnant is going to be fucking huge. And that's why the scriptures tell us great fear came upon them when they saw the army standing up, man. The army is the believers, man. All right, those dry bones being reactivated as pursuant to Ezekiel 37, man. They're going to be terrified because they're going to know, again, that our salvation draweth nigh, man. And on top of that, you got the chariots of the Lord popping up everywhere. Man, what? Salaki, I got a little hype. All right. But he had but a short time, man. Yeah, that's the point. Let me go back to Psalms right quick. Psalms, what I'm on, 37. (37 and 9). For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth for yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Right? The Lord laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. And he do, man. This is why he gonna start to put the squeeze on shit. Everybody think that 47, formerly known as 45, in my lingo, that's so DT, right? Donnie J, right? He can't fix everything, man. He's not gonna revive the country, bro. This place is circling the drain. All right, Lady Liberty is her day of reckoning is coming, man. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Right? That's the famine of the word, man. Well, that's not the famine of the word, but that's gonna prompt the famine of the word. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. And I'm going to leave it at that because I ran way over. I'm almost at an hour. Salakia. I had a couple more to get, but I think that'll suffice. Anyway, I pray this lesson finds you well. I pray that it was edifying. Until next time, Shalom. Wa Abad Babal.